me ask you something. Have you ever walked into a room in your house, looked around, and thought, how on earth did I end up with so much stuff? Maybe it's boxes of old family photos stacked in a closet, or the collection of knickknacks gathering dust on every single shelf. Whether you're stepping into retirement and dreaming of a clutter-free paradise, or you've inherited the bittersweet task of sorting through a loved one's lifetime of memories, I get it. That mountain of stuff can feel impossible to climb. But here's the thing. I've discovered a way to transform this overwhelming challenge into something not just doable, but genuinely rewarding. I'm going to show you exactly how to turn the chaos into calm, one simple step at a time. My decluttering and downsizing adventure began 12 years ago when I left Alaska. Moving out of Alaska is incredibly expensive, so I did a major declutter to downsize. Since then, I've moved 8 times to 8 different states, and each move became another opportunity to simplify my life. Now that I'm retired and settled into my new hometown, I feel like a seasoned veteran with some valuable lessons to share about letting go that I think will help you too. I know what you might be thinking. Decluttering sounds like a chore, and you're absolutely right. But here's the thing. The stuff in your life should work for you, not weigh you down. By the end, you'll have not only a clearer home, but also a clearer mind. We're going to start small so you can get a taste of success. Pick just one drawer, one shelf, or just one corner. This journey isn't about speed, it's about progress. To help, I use the 4-box method. Get 4 boxes and label them. Keep, donate, trash, and my secret weapon, undecided. That last one's a game changer because it stops you from getting stuck in those, but what if I need it someday moments. Now set a timer for 20 minutes to work on that space or drawer or corner. And when the timer goes off, you can stop. But spoiler alert, you probably won't. You'll feel so good, you'll want to keep going. For those of you who are newly retired, you might have a little extra time on your hands. Turn this into a treasure hunt. I bet there are things you forgot you even owned. A gift card tucked in an old purse, a family heirloom you've been meaning to pass down. Let me know in the comments what surprising treasures you find. I'll tell you one of mine. I found my grandfather's stamp collection that he gave me when I was 10 or 11. It had been buried in a box for over 30 years. Let's talk obstacles, because to be honest, this process isn't all sunshine and roses. One of the toughest challenges are the sentimental items. The baby clothes your kids wore, the gifts from loved ones who've passed on, the vacation souvenirs that remind you of a special moment. These things aren't just objects. They're memories that will tug at your heartstrings. And letting go of them can feel impossible. Here's my advice. Snap a photo of that sentimental thing. Write down the memory it holds, and then donate it to someone who can use it. This way, you're not erasing the memory, you're preserving it while freeing up your space. Another trick is to limit yourself to just 1 or 2 small boxes for keepsakes. If it doesn't fit, it's time to let it go. For family heirlooms, consider passing them down now instead of later. It's a great way to share those memories while simplifying your own space. Let's get practical, starting with your closet. Turn all of your hangers backwards. When you wear something, put it back with the hanger facing the right way. After 6 months, look at what's still hanging backwards. Those items, they're ready for a new home. For seasonal clothes, store them separately and evaluate them when that season rolls around. If you didn't wear that winter coat last winter, it's probably time to let it go. Kitchen confession time. Remember when we all bought air fryers and bread makers during the pandemic? If you haven't used that fancy gadget in 3 months, it's time to be honest with yourself. I once had 3 different types of blenders. 3. Now I have one that I actually use and love. Let's tackle the paper monster. You know, that drawer cabinet that makes you want to close it and pretend it doesn't exist. We all have one. Set aside a day just for this task. Create 3 categories: must keep, scan, and shred. Shred what you don't need, scan important documents, and create a simple filing system for the rest. Trust me, finding your insurance policy when you actually need it is priceless. Now, for those bigger spaces like the garage or attic, here's the secret. Break them into zones, like holiday decorations, tools, sports equipment. You get the idea. Focus on one zone at a time. Remember, you're not running a marathon here. It's more like a series of short walks. What about the larger items you're holding on to? Ask yourself, is it costing you money just to store it? Is it taking up space that could be better utilized? Letting go can actually save you money in the long run. If you're up for it, consider selling these items. I used Facebook Marketplace for furniture and anything worth over $25. But if you're emptying an entire home for a deceased loved one, you may want to consider bringing in an estate liquidator. For smaller items, garage sales worked best for me. Take clear photos, price everything, but be ready. People will want to negotiate with you. And get help. Managing a sale alone can be chaotic. My getting out of Alaska garage sale, I pocketed just over $700 in a day. Here's something people often forget about. Those tricky items like old paint, fluorescent bulbs, and broken electronics. Most cities have free drop-off days for hazardous waste like that. I found out my local Home Depot takes old paint and batteries anytime. For broken electronics, look for e-cycling events or programs in your area. Now let's shift gears for a moment. Decluttering isn't just about clearing out physical items. It's about creating a space that supports the life you want to live in retirement. Maybe you've always dreamed of turning that spare room into an art studio or a reading nook. You can't do that if it's crammed with boxes of stuff you haven't touched in years. Think about the freedom that you'll feel when your home reflects who you are now, not who you were 30 years ago. I bet just listening to this video, you're having an emotional reaction. I get it. Our things can hold so much meaning for us, even if those things are in our way and no longer serve our current lifestyle. And listen, if you're struggling, find an accountability buddy. Make it a challenge. Who can fill up a donation box faster? Who finds the most outrageous treasure buried in the pile? Sometimes having someone there makes the process less overwhelming and way more fun. Before we finish, let me share quick tips for maintaining progress. Try the 1 in and 1 out rule. For every new item that you bring into your home, 1 has to go. And do a quick daily tidy. Just 5 minutes makes a huge difference. And keep a donation bag handy for items you realize you no longer need. Then in that moment, put them in the bag. Remember, decluttering isn't about getting rid of everything. It's about creating space for what matters now. Take it 1 drawer, 1 box, 1 decision at a time. Once you've decluttered, you'll notice an emotional shift. Your home will feel lighter and more peaceful when you're done. So are you ready to start? And don't forget to come back and tell me about your progress in the comments. I'd love to hear how it's going and cheer you on.